Hello, nonprofit leaders. I'm Sarah Olivieri, your host, and this podcast is here to assist people like you, executive directors, board members, and other nonprofit leaders make a bigger impact with insights, tips, and lessons learned from nonprofit leaders and experts. Having been an executive director, a board member, and now a consultant and coach, I truly understand the challenges you face. And that's why I'm here. I'm all about working smarter, not harder, so you can make a bigger impact without the burnout. And so is our sponsor, DonorBox. DonorBox isn't just a suite of helpful fundraising tools, it's a partner that helps you raise more money and supports you in retaining your donors. I love their forward-thinking approach. Visit donorbox.org to learn more. And don't forget to sign up for the Inspired Nonprofit Leadership newsletter, where you'll get bite-sized, actionable tips just for nonprofit leaders like you, delivered weekly to your inbox. Sign up at inspirednonprofitleadership.com/sign up. Okay, let's dive into today's episode. And today I want to dive a little bit about how to recognize burnout. What are things that your team and your board should be watching out for to help prevent burnout at your organization, and some ways to overcome burnout once you are experiencing it. So let's dive right in. So first of all, are you experiencing burnout? Good question. Burnout can take a number of forms. It could be that you feel tired all the time. You might be losing your motivation to get your work done. You might find yourself feeling busy and switching from task to task, but never really getting anything done. Maybe you're pacing. Maybe you're not sleeping well. You might be experiencing signs of depression. Your family often will notice that you're burning out before you do. So your family might be telling you, hey, mom, hey, dad, or hey, wife, whatever it is, whoever you are to somebody special, that it seems like maybe you need to take a break. But this is really hard for nonprofit leaders because usually there's so much riding on our shoulders that taking a break means people are suffering, people are going hungry. It can feel impossible to get out of burnout. Before we talk about getting out of burnout, I want to talk about why burnout is not only hurting you, but it's hurting your organization. Let me say that again. Your nonprofit leadership burnout is not only hurting you, it's also hurting your organization. In all my coaching with nonprofit leaders, I'd say I have one really big rule. It's like the coaching rule. Like if you only follow one rule or piece of advice for as a nonprofit leader, it's this: always do what's best for the organization in achieving its mission. And a burnt out leader is not going to make the best decisions. They're not going to have time to attend to the work. And it's going to lead to things that are not good for the organization. It is not in the best interest of the organization for its leaders, for its staff, or for its board members to be burnt out. And that is why I want you to prioritize getting out of burnout mode. And we're going to talk about a little bit about how to do that. So first of all, though, I want to check in a little bit about what goes on sometimes at the board level. And I think boards, because they don't experience the day-to-day of running a nonprofit, they forget to ask themselves if their nonprofit leader, if their executive director is burning out, and how as a board are they possibly contributing to that? Are they calling too many meetings? Are they not fully paying attention to what's going on in the organization and just making suggestions without becoming fully informed? Are they prioritizing things that for the board are relatively important, but for the entire organization are not at the very top of the list, right? Because they need to include their executive director. And if they're making like item 10 instead of number 1 on the list seem like it's a number 1, they're actually now forcing the executive director to attend to a less important thing, which is going to sacrifice their ability to attend to a more important thing. So I'm just bringing that up because so many times I see boards unwittingly leading significantly to their leadership burnout at their organizations. And ultimately, when a nonprofit leader or leadership team is burnt out, they become less effective at doing their work. And because they're less effective, not as much work is getting done. And then they start leaning on the board to do more work, which is going to cause the board to get more burnt out too, right? So we've got kind of a negative reinforcing cycle. So we just want to stay out of that. So let's talk a little bit about how to overcome burnout. First of all, focus on quality versus quantity. I want you to get really clear on what your priorities are, right? One of the things I love to do with my coaching clients is when they're feeling overwhelmed and burnt out and there's too much to do, I say, okay, let's see your to-do list. And then often with the help of peer executive directors, we chop things off that to-do list. Say, you don't really need to do that now. That's not really that important. That can be pushed to a later date. These things actually can go in Sarah's, where is it? Fireproof bucket right there. You can put it in my fire. I can't point to it. There it is. Wait, no, it's on this side. My fireproof bucket. You can put it in there and let it burn and throw it away. You have things on your plate now that don't actually have to get done. And getting rid of those extra things, whether it's through delegation or elimination or automation or ChatGPT, is going to be really key because you're going to need some downtime to overcome that burnout. Focus on quality and priority over all the little things. Sometimes we call them like sand that are like creeping in and filling up your time. Own your calendar, make that time for yourself. And what are you going to do with that extra time? I want you to focus on some self-care. And remember, because as nonprofit folks, we often feel like self-care is selfish, but it is hurting your organization when you are not taking care of yourself, when you're burnt out. So finally, take that self-care time, do whatever you need to do, but often some breathing, some meditation, some body movement, some exercise or dancing, and finally spend some time with some loved ones. Take that time to feel a part of whatever community, whether that's family or unfamily community, whatever fills you with support and those people who have your back, and take some time to be with them. So those are my tips around identifying burnout, around preventing burnout, the key trap that your board might be participating in contributing to burnout, the things that you should do for yourself to get out of burnout, and the final tip of being in community with your family or extended community or whatever is your support network to help you recover.
You've been listening to Inspired Nonprofit Leadership. Thanks so much for tuning in. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss a single episode or the bonus episodes. And while you're at it, please leave a rating and review, and be sure to share with your friends and colleagues. Tune in every week for more useful insights and wisdom on nonprofit leadership. Thanks so much for all you do for the communities you serve. Until next time, all the best.